And just like that, we are officially live on the very first episode of a brand new segment right here called Culture Convo with your boy Wydoe and Big Tiger, man. How you doing, Tiger? I appreciate you,
straight, dog. I'm so happy to be on this journey.
Dog.
We about to hop off on this thing on y'all. You know, it's just like been on our hearts, talk about the culture, what raised us, what brought us, what made us who we are today. So I think it's going to be a lot of exciting and interesting conversations with a lot of people, you know.
That's right.
You know, we ain't about being pigeonholed in and, you know, kind of boxed in.
Right. Can't be boxed in, even though we a package deal. How you like that? So basically, this is how kind of a little mini rundown of what happened. A lot of Culture Convo will be filled with guests, whether they're local guys, famous people all around. But this episode, we just kind of wanted to do a little rundown, show you who we are. I'm Wydoe. This is Clyde Tiger. I met Clyde years ago, probably 10 years ago, playing basketball. We're both some hoopers.
He was a jit.
And basically, he's always wanted to have a show. I've always wanted to have a show. I created my podcast.
He just wanted a host, so he just got some old guy.
That's it, man. That's it, man. We had to come together and form the Avengers. But basically, we didn't know, what we're gonna do, but we know we want to make impact. So what better people to kind of bring and talk about the culture, showcase your culture. We're gonna be coming to your town, your city, your place, than us, man. So welcome to Culture Convo. Wydoe and Tiger, I appreciate you joining me, big dog.
Yeah, man, it's an honor, man. I'm super excited. Like, shout out to Chance, Second Mile Media, kind of connected these pieces for us. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? We were talking. I was kicking some ideas around, kind of about like a masterclass type thing. I've been in business for a little while, and he does a lot of content for my business. I've been a entrepreneur, business owner for 10 years now, something that really blew up. I've been in some other trade work as well, but Chance shot a lot of content for me, and he's like, man, I got this guy, shoot some content, does some podcast stuff. I think you guys are really vibe. You know what I'm saying? And like he mentioned, like we knew each other, but we didn't know each other, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because, what are we, like 17 years apart? We figured out it's like 17 years. So like I was on the back end of being athletic and he was in high school, and I remember him being at LA Fitness in Jensen Beach, I think, right?
Jensen, LA, Civic Center.
So he'd be out there,
days.
Out there hooping with a couple other guys we know, and just kind of cross paths there, but circle back, and we shot some content for my meal prep business and then my training facility, and the vibe was just kind of from there. I think the synergy's good, like you mentioned. For me, I've always been kind of square peg, round hole. That's been my story. Half breed, I'm Native American and white, you know what I mean? So I grew up in two different cultures.
That's right.
A lot of urban influence for me, grew up down south in Broward County, 954, you know what it is. Born and bred, it's in my heart. Moved up to the Treasure Coast area in 2002. So, it's just been a lot. That's a lot of transition for a guy like me, growing up in the city, growing up in Broward, and then coming up here in 2002. So it was like kind of like a culture shock for me, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think speaking to the word culture is like big, it's on our heart. And I think like it encompasses so much. And like you mentioned already, it's just about like talking to everybody.
That's right.
No matter what you do, industry, what's your vibe? Because I think the biggest misconception is like, people think like you're in that place forever, if you're 18, 19 years old and you're in the culture, but then you grow up, like you never lose that culture. You might be a banker, you might be a surgeon, like we don't know, like, or you might be a pro athlete or a rapper or whatever, some kind of business owner, but that culture is in you. So like we want to connect with those kind of people, I think is first and foremost, and just kind of think outside the box and not be in this, just streamline, we just do sports, or we just do rappers, or we just do this, or business. Like we want to chop it up with anybody out there, like you mentioned, is episode 1. We're just getting out here and, kind of putting the word out. So like, if you know somebody that, might fit the mold, be like, yo, that's my guy or my girl or so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. They'll connect the pieces. Let's go. We're doing a lot of cool remote stuff we got planned.
That's right.
We got some local businesses, great venues. Shout out to Chuck Seafood, the Tide House. They're already on board. We got a couple of people around here, so we're looking for great scenic backdrops. Talked a little bit with Sailfish Brewery. So again, like if you know somebody in a business space wants to feature their business, Meeting Street you mentioned, so it's like we want to be out in the community, in the culture. What's the vibe? I'm gonna pull up. I don't care.
That's right. Yeah, we're pulling up for sure.
Whether
it's good food, bad food, we're gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, on the block or in the boardroom.
I like that.
We're pulling up.
I like that. Culture Convo on the block or in the boardroom.
Yeah, we outside or inside.
That's right. Either way. So on this show, man, Culture Convo, I love the fact that we're gonna be able to showcase other people's culture. Just because let's think about, I've thought about it a lot. If I was on a farm and my whole family was farmers, that's pretty much the only culture I would know. I'd want to be a farmer when I grow up. It's the only options I had. For me, once you're able to see and be embraced in other cultures, be like, man, I might want to go do that. Man, I might want to be a scuba diver. But I living in a farm in Wyoming, you probably wouldn't even known about 100 feet, diving for lobsters, going scuba fishing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I love how we can show the different cultures, whether it's yours at home, somebody with a great story that needs to be told, we'd love to go and showcase them. We're going to be real though, Tiger. I don't know about you. I'm always going to keep it real. So we might have to, I say, with our program, our platform, you can get exposure, but you might also get exposed a little bit. You know what I mean? You never know.
Oh, man. Again, back to me. And again, I'm sure, as we walk down this path together, and again, we've done a little bit of talking and chit chat and stuff like that, but me and him might not always see eye to eye.
No,
you know what I mean?
right.
Or we might have disagreements along the way, or just agree to disagree. But I think that for me, in what I do is again, I'm out there, I'm doing work out there in the field, and I'm turning the land, and I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I believe in my heart of hearts, and this is just me personally, is for me in my internal culture, I know that my God that I trust in is going to put me in the right place with the right people so we can have the right conversations.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that for a second. Good, bad, or indifferent. Or it might not go as smooth as everybody intended to, but there was a purpose there for it. So good, bad, or indifferent, I think it's just all about growth and getting to know other people and really what the move is. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that too, culturally, people have preconceived notions about whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's maybe I can help break down a boundary or a limitation for somebody, or help people to see it from a different point of view. Sometimes you got to get out of the prosecutor's seat and walk around to the defendant's chair and see what the defendant's seeing. If I was raised like him or her, could I be like him or her?
Yeah.
Instead of saying they're this, and this because of blah, 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 blah. Well,
that's
do you
your
know that?
perspective.
Could you be that if you were given those circumstances? Could you be that person? Yep. Could you have been the bank robber? Could you have been, before we shut these people down? Or, there's people that make bad choices at young ages, and then they get
tarnished for life,
right? Don't make them a bad person. They just made a bad choice. So it's again, there's a lot of people out there trying to find their way, and they want to categorize people in that thing too. So there's just a broad range of topics that I'm excited to talk about, and I think we can unpack that as we move forward. There's a lot of systematic stuff that goes on that just people don't even want to look up or believe it, and it's bro, are you kidding me? What are you doing? We have some talk sometimes it's 2024, and some of the stuff that goes on is so antiquated, and this goes from sports to news media outlets, education, schooling. Bro, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
I would have thought we were flying cars and, you know what I mean, invincible, infinite life at this point when I was in 2003 in third grade. That's what I thought 24 would be like,
bro. Space age, though. You're talking to a guy that they didn't have cell phones. They didn't have cell phones when I was growing up. They didn't have beepers till I was in middle school. Right. You know what I'm saying? They beeper, put the code on there. You have some quarters for the payphone. The beeper code, cell phones wasn't even out like that. So again, there is a lot. There is a lot of technological advances in technology, I should say. Yep. But it still surprises me how antiquated people's thinking are. Or
correct.
For me, I'm involved in some the sports coaching environment, youth athletics, and some of that stuff's antiquated. There's guys doing stuff that's not even. It's almost not relevant anymore, and it's you're from a growth standpoint, and again you guys, YouTube, social media, you're out there in this space. There's so many resources where you can go out there and absorb information, and you got to make what's the word I'm looking for, cognitive thinking to decipher what's good info, what's bad info. Not all of it's good, but it's. Am I evaluating the information that's being provided to me? Is it a consistent, reoccurring source of information to where there's some key points as I'm absorbing this information where I can say, yeah, this is probably got some truth base in it. Yeah. Right. So it's and people aren't even utilizing that. Yeah. I started a whole business off food service, nutrition-based business, like in the meal prep industry. I started 10 years ago, and I'm not formally educated. I didn't go to college. I learned it all on Google, and I self-educated myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I was willing to go out there and get involved in an industry that interested me. So I just educated myself.
And was the initial spark, and shout out to Fit Fixins, this is the company that he's referencing, the best meal prep on the Treasure Coast, baby. Was the initial spark for Fit Fixins because there was no option there for you at the time and you wanted to fill the void? Or it was literally business?
Well, no, I think for me, just to keep it real with y'all, I was broke.
See?
Real talk, broke. I lost some weight. Early 30s, little bit of background about me. I was married, was in a 10-year marriage, wrecked that marriage due to my own fault. Again, way before I started looking or even found God. Made a lot of bad choices, was not a good husband, was not a good businessman at the time. I was in the construction industry, just made a bad life choices. But again, that 20 to 30-year-old space, didn't have a lot of male mentorship in my life. No constant, so I was out there just freelancing, you know what I mean? Kind of based off what I had learned from kind of probably 10 to 18 years old, 10 years old to 18 years old, and just kind of going off that, and that wasn't the best life plan, I guess. So, found myself, going through a divorce. I was overweight, played ball growing up, and I was about 270 pounds, and, it was overweight and unhealthy, and made a transition, and started making better life choices, working out, stuff like that. And then, I was in the construction industry still and was sitting in a job trailer. And again, that thing that was in my heart, like we were just talking about earlier, yo, I ain't feeling this. I don't want to sit in a job trailer. I love the health and fitness industry. I love helping people. During this course of me losing my weight, I helped my buddy lose almost 100 pounds, training him, coaching him, talking about nutrition. Said, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to get certified as a personal trainer. Did that while still doing construction. Little part-time gig, hopped out. Everyone's like, yeah, we got you, bro. I'm gonna come train with you. You become a trainer, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, this, that, and the third. Boom. Leave my construction job, good paying. I got insurance, check coming in every week. Go become a personal trainer. No one's calling, I'm like, oh my gosh. So again, I'm kind of in a jackpot and broke and trying to get by and wondering what I'm doing with my life, mid-30s. This is my life. I got a GED. I got a personal training certificate and no education, right? And I'm going through divorce, 3 kids. My life was super unmanageable, or so it felt, right?
Felt it, yeah.
So I just kept showing up. I took a job as a waiter at Chili's. Bro, I was doing whatever I could to get by. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's the hustle in me. I'm gonna do what I got to do, right? So. Boom. So I did that for a little while. Then I got another opportunity to work out at gym. I started off in Jensen with a couple of guys I know. Jared Brito, Chris Baker at Next Level Fitness. My guy Jared Brito is still in the game at Fresh Fitness in Jensen. Shout out you, my guy. Fresh Fitness, Jensen Beach. Definitely got to get you and your wife on the show. I know y'all doing your thing out there, and love to have you. Great energy guy. Chris kind of went a different direction. He got into public service. He's a firefighter, EMT, I believe. But yeah, shout out to those guys for giving me a chance. Went out there. Got another opportunity by a guy, Phil DeRue, another guy kind of blew up his, thing. He was kind of one of the first guys in kind of the YouTube scene, really built a brand for himself. He's doing stuff with a lot of high profile people, UCF guys, stuff like that. Got out there. He gave me a chance, trained out there, did that. I was doing some coaching, stuff like that. And the meal prep started from there. People were like, oh, I'm not eating, or I don't eat enough, or I'm not losing weight, I'm not getting the results. I was still broke at the time, you know.
Right.
Only had enough money to drive across town once a day. I was staying over by the Civic Center in Port St. Lucie, working out in St. Lucie West, driving a Mercury Grand Marquis. Shout out to the Merc.
Let's go.
Merc gang. If y'all ride a Merc, I want to talk to you. I want to rap with you because you know what it is. So barely had enough gas money to get back and forth. I used to sit at Starbucks in St. Lucie West. I was broke. Broke, 30-something years old, trying to figure out life. And people said they needed food. So I'm like, I'm a hustle, right? That's what I know to do. Boom. I said, yeah, I'm a cook. Put up a post on Facebook as long before Instagram. Any other social media platform wasn't really bumping like that. It wasn't even around. Put up a post on Facebook about cooking for people. This was 2014. 2 people took, signed up or placed an order for 20 meals apiece. I was in my house cooking. I went to Walmart, bought some Ziploc containers. I had a certain size I bought, blue painter's tape for the label.
Yep.
And just started off the hustle there. And then it flipped up and, I just hustled and kept flipping. And, 10 years later, I'm here. I meet people like you. I worked around some professional athletes. So like, right. And again, like that wasn't like, I was like, oh, I'm going to start a meal prep business. I love food industry. I was just down bad and saw an opportunity to make some money. But that carried me to where I'm at today. And like, I found some more of my passion along the way.
Yep.
Right. I found that I love doing this. I love podcasts. I love networking. I love marketing. I love social media. I'm kind of self-taught in everything I do. I clip it up. I do some reels. Nothing to what this guy does. This guy's on a whole different level.
We're all
I think he came up in it. That was part of your generation. Yeah. So like he really parlayed that. And so like what he's doing here, what y'all see, all the editing, all the stuff you guys see, you're watching there. That's this guy right here. Come on, baby. I'm just old age information.
One day we're gonna get big enough so we can employ some of y'all.
We might be looking for a camera guy or girl.
Editor.
We would love to have you an editor. Well, that'd be dope.
Intern, maybe. Hey, you never know. Some youngins, let's go.
Yeah. So,
but staying on that, Tiger, real quick, because when this is the dynamic of the show that I love of Culture Convo with someone like Tiger and me, Wydoe, as the co-host. Is a lot of things that he's speaking about, he's went through it. Some of it you're still going through, but I'm in the age where I'm literally in the midst of it. A lot of these things. So I love how I can learn from you. Some people can learn from me because they're in the same stage. But when you're in those moments of down bad, broke, which I've been, still currently are sometimes, right? But I find myself a lot of times, every time, never mad at the situation, never mad at the environment, the people. I'm always mad at myself because I feel I could have done more, shouldn't have done that. Wasted time, I'm always mad at myself. During those times, who are you mad at, if anybody?
Well, I think that's where it's relatable, right? Because it's again, man, I'm 30. Because Fit Fixins, when I started Fit Fixins, I was 35 years old, right? Yeah. So like I just turned 46, right? So we just celebrated 10 years of business. Right. So it's kind of rolling 35, 36. Right. So I'm going through it. The divorce isn't finalized. We've been separated for a few years. I was dating my wife, the woman that I'm married to now, co-owner of Fit Fixins, Chelsea, my rock. We were going through like some like relationship stuff there. I'm waking up in the morning, I'm praying and crying and like, what's going on in my life? I'm a failure. I'm not around my kids enough. I got no money. I got no education. I got some charges from the past that still haunt me way back, Right. And again, that's the culture. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. That's who I am. If you ever catch me in person, you want to know more about me, hit me up, like pull me aside. I'll tell you the whole story. Maybe we'll get into it one day,
For sure.
Because I'm not opposed to talking about it. Because again, like in those choices I made as a young, 20-something-year-old man still will circle back. I'm 46, and it will still haunt me from time to time.
There. Yeah, people will use it against you.
Yeah, they try to, but I think like right now, and I think that's where you gotta, till the land and sow the seeds, and like you be hard pressed. And I'm not saying this from an egotistical way, but like you could reach out to a lot of people in the community, and they might not be my best friend, or they might not like me, but they can't really say like, oh, he's this, that, he's dishonest, he does this, like they can't say that. Like
no way.
They know who I am. They know who I am as a character. They know what I'm about. So it's like I do my best to like live past that. But back to your point of like,
who are you mad at? A lot of people you'll see them and it's the world. It's their fault. It's my parents' fault. It's not me.
But that's the thing. Like that's part of this growth and development that comes along the way. And I think like for anybody out there watching, like if you want to, if you truly want to level up your life, right? If you're hanging around basic people, and again, please don't take this in the wrong way. Like if all your friends work at the same place you do or do the same thing you do, chances are they're going to agree or co-sign with what you're doing. They just are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if like you out there, you're trying to hustle, you got dreams, and you're talking to other people that don't have dreams or don't see any, aspirations of growing and are just comfortable, Like, you need to say, like, what am I doing with my
Yeah.
time? Because my time is my most valuable possession, and I can't never get none of it back. We can't get back this few minutes that we were talking, and
right.
you can't get back them few minutes that you've been watching this video. So we want to make sure we're maximizing the information and bringing good info to you, because I don't want to waste your time.
That's right.
I don't want to be on that rah-rah, feel good, or this. I'm just going to keep it real with you, and whoever we talk to, we got to keep it real. That's
right.
Because your time is valuable, and we want to provide valuable, in-depth information. So again, like, going back to like, and again, this comes and this is where I was going with this, is like, I had a mentor in my life that broke it down for me. We did some inventory. We talked about stuff. We looked at like what was Tiger's fault, right? I had to own that, because I was they didn't pick me up. See, I would have been better in high school if they would have picked me up for the junior varsity basketball team. I was 6'4", about $160, $170 in ninth grade. I didn't make the junior basketball team, right? The junior varsity basketball team. I'm in coaching. If someone 6'4" walks in, I'm gonna at least like just put them on the bench. I'll figure it out eventually, because like 6'4" they don't make. It's not a run of the mill height. I know that today. But again, young Tiger was out there hanging with them boys, doing that stuff, coming to school like you know, not doing the right thing. And they knew that. They don't want me around the guys like Wydoe that's playing ball, showing up, getting good grades, because they know what I can do. And, you know, I can influence that environment, and that's not good. So, but it was their fault. It was their fault. Not my fault. I didn't want to take any accountability. So I can go back that, or I can say, oh, my dad wasn't involved in my life. And if you were raised like how I was raised, and blah, blah, I saw what I saw, and this and that, and you don't know what it's like. Again, leaned on that crutch for a long time. So again, I think like, if you're in that developmental crux to where you don't know, get a mentor, get somebody to talk to, get somebody that's doing it on a higher level. Because really, guys that are doing it on a higher level, or business people that really care and are really like in that philanthropy, give back, like good heart space, they'll rap with you. You know what I'm saying? Me and you chop it up. Like I said, like, shout out to my guy, you know, Chance, you know, and Q, and there's a lot of guys like, again, that I get information from, and we sit down and talk, because they're industry guys too. You know what I'm saying? My guy Jay May, talk to him a lot. He's in real estate, you know, in the medical industry, all kinds of stuff, right? So I rap with him too. So it's like, there's resources out there, right? But if you are, you know, showing, you know, not looking or nosing around, or trying to go to networking events, or seeing what the vibe is, and you're staying in that 5x5 mile square box that you've been in, like, that's your fault.
You gotta be.
You know what I'm saying? There's Uber, there's public transportation, or, you know, you can figure it out if you really want to get there, if you want to try to go somewhere. People like I can speak on behalf of myself. If I know you about it and you're really trying to learn and trying to grow, I'm gonna rap with you. I'm gonna at least give you my number. I give people my number all the time. Like, yo, hit me up, talk to me if you wanna, you know, if you wanna grow, or you just wanna talk or vent. Bro, you know, people call me back? Not many.
And I think a big reason for that is, just in my experience, is you heard Tiger say that he was going through a lot in life, and a lot started to change for him once he got his mentor. So the information that you got from that person above you helped you so much that I feel like guys in your position, once they get there, can't wait to do the same for someone else underneath them. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I say it's 100% true. It goes back to like Denzel said it, you know, each one teach one.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's up. Like, if you up top, you got to reach back and pull people up, because like that's what gets me choked up. Like, real. So y'all know when y'all watch the show, like,
only the real, baby.
I'm an emotional guy. I'm just going to put it out there real quick. I'm going to get a little choked up. I start talking about my kids, or like just pulling people up. Like,
that's right.
You're going to see it in me. You know, I'm just, it's real. It's my culture. It's who I am as a man. Right. So it's like, that's what it's all about. Because like those situations where you see somebody that, and again, people want to say, oh, Tiger, you helped so-and-so, or you did this. Like, I didn't do that, right? That's God. God gave that to them. My job is just to like nurture it, water it, trim the dead branches off, put it in the sun. Like, that's it. Is that cultivation of like what's inside of that individual, right? Because people will, you know, oh, you're this, you're that, you're never going to be nothing. And they close them and they put them in the room and they don't put them in the window and they never water them and they wonder why they're like that. And again, it goes back to what I said earlier, like, if you were raised like they were raised, could you be like them? So to watch, if you can get someone to come out of that environment and just say, hey, I'm going to give this new way a chance, or I'm going to at least listen and try to give these these instructions. It's not even a theory because to me, I feel like it's been proven.
Yeah.
Because
Watch
you hear
Undercover
any,
Boss. You see it right on Undercover Boss.
You hear it all the time. Tony Robbins, David Goggins.
Yep.
What's his name? Jocko
Willink. Shout out Jocko.
They talk about consistency, showing up. Like all these guys are preaching the same information, bro. Eric Thomas, it might be all delivered a little bit differently.
Yep.
Zig Ziglar, who else? Dave Ramsey. If I'm telling y'all, if y'all go and listen to any of those guys,
Yep.
write down those names I just mentioned. Go and listen to an hour long of each of them. Do yourself a service.
Yes.
Listen to each of them for an hour, and I guarantee you they will touch on a couple key points that they are repeating through and through and through.
Yep.
It's just we all hear stuff different. We all have different purposes in this world. So you might rock with Eric Thomas, or you might not because he yells too much, or you might do good with a David Goggins, or you might do good with a Tony Robbins. It just depends how it lands on your ear and what you rock with. So it's just because that person, I'm not listening. Well, then find somebody else to listen to because they all talking the same thing.
That's right, yeah. And if they're giving you 10, you might only take 2 from this guy, 2 from that guy, 4 from him. And what I love and what I've noticed is all those guys, David Goggins, Tony Robbins, Jocko, anybody, Clyde Tiger, all of them have, in my opinion, they have there was a journey, whether it was really tough, some of them are way traumatic, it's a journey though. And in that process, I realized that they used their time wisely and applied it to affect them later on. So while I'm in the journey, I'm coming home from construction jobs, they just get a 12-pack of beer, we go home and they're ready to do it tomorrow. I'm realizing the convos when we're at home in our free time are who's the top 5 running backs in the league, who's the best team in the NBA, which doesn't matter whether I'm right or wrong, wasted time. I realized,
great conversation. It's
great combos, but I got tired of it after years of doing it. What are we doing, boys?
Yeah.
So I'll say to the people out there, just like me, that are in the middle of the journey, don't waste the time. It's not bad to be down, be in the middle of the journey, but through that, take a risk. I took a risk by reaching out to Clyde Tiger. Would you want to come on my show? Here we are. Little bit, a couple weeks later, we have our own show. So take the risk and appreciate the journey while you're in it, and don't waste your time because it's so valuable.
Yeah, because I think and I just want to say this too. I try my best not to categorize anything as wasted time.
Gotcha.
Right. So everything has a place.
Yep.
Again, in the development of who you are as an individual, as a man, as who you're going to be, right? All that experiential time and stuff you see and occasions, they're helping you to develop, right?
Yep.
So again, that was critical for you to push you those conversations, those footballs, those 12 packs of beer, just like me, the trouble, the no education, the not making it about all that stuff was influential in helping me develop to who I am today, right? So again, I could sit back, flip side, right? Oh, he's young. He's super hip. He knows what's going on, current events, young guy, hip, fashion, basketball player. He's got all that, right? As a young man, and I'm like, man, that's cool. He's got going for him, play college ball, did all this stuff, right? Knows all the technology, does the engineering, the editing, right? And here I am, 46 years old. It's very easy for me to get into the imposter syndrome, I don't belong here.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right? So it's just on the flip side of you're like, oh, what do I do? And I go, oh, do I belong here?
Yeah.
And it's easy for me because other 46-year-old dudes ain't hanging with a guy that's almost 20 years younger than him trying to start up a podcast. Why? Yep. I don't know. But I'm not going to allow this made-up fear I made in my head to hold me back from saying, you know what? I've always wanted to do podcasts. I like the vibe. I like Wydoe.
Yeah.
I think we got something here. And I know a lot of people... And shout out to the people that have responded and been like, yo, we're going to be on the show. We got, my guy, Ryan Walton. Yo, amazing guy. Built something doing shark tours outside in the water. Dude is killing it just across the board. Dives in Florida, dives off the coast of California. Talk to my girl, Sarah Lou, who does makeup tutorials. Built her whole thing off Instagram. Yeah. Super cool chick from Florida, Vero. Kind of started off in the IT industry. She's moving back to Brooklyn again. She's back and forth. She built her whole thing just off social media, right? Got a couple other cool people lined up that I got some calls out to. So it's again, I want to talk to those people. I want to again, but I could sit here and be like, oh, I'm too old or I'm not this.
You can box yourself in.
Exactly.
You can easily box yourself in. And what I love is we're going to be able to showcase all these people and do it the right way. And then like Tiger mentioned earlier, we're going to be coming to some local venues to have the nice backdrop, nice setting. Shout out to Chuck Seafood. Already got this lined up this week.
Chuck's Ryan. Yeah,
Stay tuned for that. Ryan.
Yeah, we'll be out there with Ryan Walton, Shark.
And then one of the last things I want to say, because we're going to try to keep these episodes short. If maybe we go long, maybe we'll kind of break them up into segments. Maybe if you want to see the full extended version, we'll figure out a way to do that.
Yeah.
But Tiger, I want to say is somebody that... I love what you said. There is no wasted time. And I feel like what you choose to do on your time shapes who you are. And that today, there's too many things, too many options out in the world for everyone to do everything. So you have to make some choices. You're going to have to find your lane. For me, I would rather... If I had 2 hours of free time, I'd rather spend that time researching and watching videos, learn about the Aztec Indians and what was the 1930s like. What was Alexander the Great like? I'm not the guy that's going to go research how to make $1 million, how to flip a house. So it's different lanes. So I love what you said about the point of there's no wasted time. So at the end of the day, we're just going to be a podcast show, whether you're listening to us at home, watching us on YouTube, and hopefully we're never going to waste your time. You can learn from us. You can relate to us. You can laugh at us, laugh with us. That's hopefully the whole point of the show, Culture Convo. Tiger, man, I'm really excited for this shit, man.
Yeah. I'm hyped. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be an awesome journey and experience, and that's what I'm most excited about is the experience. Because I love that. Because I love the stuff that money can't buy.
Yeah.
Right. I love the stuff that moves my soul. I love the people I get to meet along the way, the relationships I get to build. And that's what's most important to me in life. And I'm like you too. Like, I'm just not gonna spend my time, just kind of ingesting like useless information, right? So it's like, and for anybody that's out there that says, oh, there ain't enough time in a day, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, realistically, you got 18 hours a day. You only really need like 5 to 6 hours of sleep. Mm-hmm. Like for real. So it's like, and if you work an 8-hour job, even if you had an hour drive both ways, that's still only 10 hours. So like, what are you doing? Yeah. You ain't got time. You just don't want to change. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the side hustle comes in. And again, that's all them people are going to tell you the same thing that I just mentioned.
And if you're a real dreamer, it doesn't stop when you're clocked in somewhere else. Because even though I'm doing this physical work, I'm up here. I'm plotting, 100%. Planning. I'm writing a script for today's show. I'm figuring out a guess what I could have said, would have said. And last thing I'll touch on, Tiger, man, if you didn't see, man, Flow Grown to the death of me. Okay, it's my favorite brand. It's my favorite.
You know what it is right here.
Now. Come on,
my guy Jesse. I'm coming for you.
Really, Florida Grown, Jesse. I gotta meet you soon, man, because I got too many clothes in here. And Florida Grown really just encompasses who I am. I'm a Florida boy. Bred through and thick and through. Man, I went up to CT. Everybody looked at me as the Florida boy. Tiger, will you always be a Florida guy? Because I'm never leaving. I'm never leaving.
Yeah, hey.
I'll visit, but I ain't leaving.
The snow must not be that great because everybody comes out here and never leaves. So you can't sell me on the change of season. We got 2 seasons. We got summer heavy and summer light. Yep. I mean, that's right. It's decent. I'm not shoveling snow. I'm not having to dig my car out. None of that. No ice. No salt. So it's like, I'll come visit. I'll pull up with y'all. If y'all are out there in the Northeast, Midwest, and you got something for us to see, I will pull up on you. But trust me.
Because we are Culture Convo, so we do want to come see you guys, showcase your culture, but we got to come back home.
Yeah, I'm coming on back. But I appreciate the invite. I'm going to pull up. But I just can't do it. I can't shovel my car out. I can't. I'm not doing it. Not at this age in the game. Maybe he'll do it, but I ain't doing it. I'm not shoveling nothing out. Everyone's like, oh, you got a snowblower, but I'm still like, you're laboring. I can't get on board with that, dog. I can't.
Nah, can't do it. Can't get on board with it. So to wrap it up, man, anybody tune in, I appreciate you guys. Go follow the podcast. This is Culture Convo. You can right now we'll be on the Wydoe Podcast channel. I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch of different channels, pages. We'll have our own Instagram page for the show.
For sure.
And what I really want to say is if you appreciate this show, if you like us, if you like the segment, and you have somebody out there that needs to be shown some love, tell their story, let us know. Reach out to them, reach out to us. Either way, let's go ahead and connect us.
Yeah. Real talk. I just want to tell y'all about the definition of Culture Convo.
Please.
Culture in the verb. I don't know how to say this. Let me see. And from an English, if my wife was here, she'd correct my grammar and tell me like, I'm going to use it in the context of it being a verb because that's what we're about.
That's right.
Right, a verb. We about action. I know that, right? Like I said, I wasn't formally educated, but a verb is an action word to describe. It's descriptive.
Yep.
So I'm going to tell you this from a definition of a verb using culture as a verb, right? So here we are. Maintain conditions suitable for growth. That's what we're about as a culture, to maintain a condition suitable for growth for us, for y'all, and for whatever you're doing.
Elevate.
So, yo, hop on this with us. Culture Convo. We're all about the development and you maintaining personal growth so you can get on to that next level because where you're at right now is not where you're going to finish.
That's right. Yeah, so come on, tune in to Culture Convo. Help us grow with you and grow with us together, man. Let's go.
Y'all know what it is.
Come on now. Your boy Wydoe, Big Tiger, signing out.
Hit the follow.
Come show some love. YouTube, Wydoe Podcast, Culture Convo. Search us up. Episode 1. Thank you for tuning in.
We out of here.
It's all love, baby.
It's Wydoe and it's track 3. If you got it, come and mash me, and we'll get crazy in the backseat. Damn, sleep. Man, your voice is so sleep.